Hey everybody, David Essel here today. I'm so glad to be on Facebook, and I happen to love these Facebook Lives. We've done them before on many different topics, and today we're going to be doing it on the law of attraction. Is it absolutely perfect or poison? And it's a question that has come up for me in the last, several years of individuals that want to know, what is the truth behind the law of attraction? Is it true? I mean, oh my Lord, we have millions upon millions of books sold, and the title is The Law of Attraction. We have, of course, The Secret, which is the law of attraction. And people want to know, is it real? And is it as powerful as everyone says? I want to welcome aboard. And we've got Sue with us, and Chris, and PJ, and Catherine, and all the Ray Lynch. Hey, as a matter of fact, at 8 o'clock tonight, Eastern time, I believe it is, I'm going to be on Ray's radio show. Ray, would you go ahead and right where we are right now, put a link so that people can listen to your show? Ray he's been an awesome host for a number of years. I've been on his show before and very excited. And so we're going to have him. Amy's with us. Catherine is with us. Carly, Cindy, welcome everyone. You know, this is a really crucial topic because there are parts of the law of attraction that you can use that are absolutely perfect. And then there's a huge percent of it that's absolutely poison. I mean, some of the worst stuff in the world are things that we are taught, and because of mass consciousness, which I'll get into in a little bit, we take them as real and honest and true, and they're not at all. Jeff, I want to welcome you on board here as well. But what is the law of attraction? So the law of attraction, according to the teachers, and Ray Lynch, hey Amy, Ray Lynch just posted his radio show that's on at 8 o'clock tonight. So make sure you join us. I'm going to be his guest right after this presentation. But the law of attraction, the way it's been taught by so many very famous and very successful coaches and authors and speakers, is that whatever it is that you desire to achieve, if you put the energy, thought-wise energy, into the universe, it will come back in kind. So it's kind of like that. What we've been told is that if you imagine enough and affirm enough and visualize enough, that whatever it is that you're focusing your attention on must come to you. There are statements like, whatever you believe, you can achieve, and your thoughts become things. And the universe is just waiting for you to declare the intention that you want, and it will be yours. Is it true? If there are books that have sold millions of copies, like The Secret, is it true? Is it true that you can imagine checks coming in the mail and they'll come in the mail? Is it true that you can put a picture of $1 million house plus that you want in a storage facility, and 5 years later, without seemingly doing any work, at least as the movie went, you will just be moving into the house and you'll be shaking your head going, oh my God, I don't even know how I got here. PJ, I love it. PJ's with us. Ray Lynch says no. PJ says you don't believe it. If you know it, live your life as it is. Amazing. Whatever you know, you can achieve. However, here's the problem. If you guys know Dr. Joe Vitale, who is amazing, Dr. Joe was one of the stars of The Secret. So a number of years ago, when I was with XM Satellite Radio, I had Dr. Joe on. And I said to him, if you attracted checks in the mail, as it says, you were homeless, and you attracted checks in the mail, and through your thought, you became a millionaire, I go, Joe, my national audience is waiting to know the exact thoughts that you used in order to bring checks in the mail without doing any work, to become a millionaire, because that's what it said on The Secret. He said, yes, that's what it said. And Joe and I both had big smiles on our face at that time. And I said, what is it that you thought in order to get from homeless to millionaire? And this is when he laid the bomb on me, so to speak. He said, David, for me to go from homeless to millionaire took working 7 days a week, 12 to 14-hour days for years. When The Secret found me, I already was a millionaire. And I do believe in affirmations and visualization and imagining checks in the mail and all that kind of stuff. But how I got from homeless to millionaire was by working 7 days a week. So right away, we have to say, no, wait a minute. If this is a guy on The Secret and I tell his story, in our #1 best-selling book behind me. If this is the guy in The Secret saying it didn't happen that way, this is where my concern is. This is where I think that a lot of us have been swayed to believing that whatever you believe you can achieve and your thoughts become things, when it may not be that easy. From 1980, now some people say, like, who are you as the expert to be talking on this topic? And I say, there is no one better than me to talk on this topic, because from 1980 to 1996, when I traveled 40 weeks a year as a speaker all around the world, I used to teach this stuff. I used to teach that whatever you believe can achieve. Salt Lake City, the largest group I ever spoke in front of, 5,000 people. It was freaking amazing. And the guy I had to follow, I don't know if you guys ever heard of Dr. Dennis Waitley. Dr. Dennis Waitley is amazing. He's one of the pioneers of the use of visualization that he used with gold medal athletes in our Olympics and the astronauts. Well, Dr. Dennis Waitley was on stage before me. I had to follow Dr. Dennis Waitley, but he decided to introduce me, and he gave me the most amazing introduction ever, and I was off to the races. Catherine just said it's not that easy. There's no action, just thought. And that was my big concern with The Secret, right? But so from 1980 to 1996, I preached the law of attraction. We didn't call it the law of attraction. We called it the power of positive thinking, right? Thank you, Dr. Norman Vincent Peale. Beautiful book. PJ just wrote, when you imagine it, if you start talking about it, and it's the talking about it that attracts people to have you achieve it. That's about 10% of the reality of success, PJ. The last part is about 90%. Hard work and dedication and never giving up. That's the 90% that we really need to focus on. But let me tell you how I got to the space that I am today. There's no one better to be saying that the law of attraction is not the way we've been taught than me, because I taught it that way. From 1980 to 1996, I traveled, as I mentioned, all over the world. In 1996, the biggest wake-up call ever was given to me by none other than the founder of Transcendental Meditation, Maharishi Mahesh Yogi. In 1996, the Maharishi selected my radio show, I was with Westwood One back then, to be the only media outlet in the United States of America to celebrate the 20th anniversary, or the 40th, anniversary of Transcendental Meditation. And on that show, he proved to me that I'm never going to attract the greatest things in my life via my thought. And you know how he proved it to me? He said, David, of all the affirmations that you've said over the last 16 years, the biggest ones, have they come through just by you affirming? And the answer was no. And then in his beautiful way, he said, then why are you teaching it? Now, here's the guy whose whole career was about the power of the mind, and he's challenging me, and he's proving to me that what I was teaching was wrong. And in 1996, after that, I changed everything. And I started to talk about how 10 to 20% of your massive success in life will come via your thoughts, and 80 to 90% of it, and if you're taking notes, baby, take this down. Whatever you don't have in your life right now that's huge, that's big, that's monstrous, you've got to be willing to walk into the uncomfortable in order to bring it to you. And if you want to know the true definition of law of attraction, it would be absolutely have positive thoughts. And then 6 days a week, do what you'd rather not do to make the money, to get clean and sober, to find deep love, to forgive someone who betrayed you. The list goes to make the money you want to make, whatever it is. That is the secret to the law of attraction. Your actions into the uncomfortable, and I could tell you stories that will go on all night long here of people like Dr. Joe Vitale. Dr. Joe reinforced what Maharishi told me, that if you're not willing to surrender and follow someone else's program other than your own, the odds are you're not going to be successful in life. PJ, she said here, one last thought before I have to go. What you think matters to no one, what you do matters to everyone. Follow your conscience, have the best interest and everyone, not just yourself, and magic happens. If you're willing to really get uncomfortable, and let me tell you a story about my friend Ray Higdon, who is someone else I featured in the book behind me. Ray Higdon came to me and he was flat broke, losing his home, a single dad with 2 kids after the real estate bust in the 90s. And he asked me if I would meet him for lunch. He had no money. He couldn't pay for a session, but he wanted to try to figure out what the heck to do with his life. His life was an absolute mess. Ray is a friend of mine on Facebook. And if you want to follow someone who is a megastar in regards to being successful in business, Ray is one of them. I would highly recommend that you follow Ray Higdon here on Facebook. So at the end of our hour together, I said, Ray, I'm going to tell you something. You have great energy. You have great passion. You've got to find something to sell that you love and then do what most people won't do, and that's work harder than everyone else. And he told me later, years later, when I caught up with him, he said, David, I walked away and I knew you were right, but I went and bought The Secret. And for 30 days, I said affirmations and I built beautiful big vision boards. And 30 days later of following everything they told me to do in The Secret, I was worse off than I had ever been in my life. And then someone told me, since I wanted to make a lot of money in sales, to go after 20 no's a day, 20 no's a day. And I started doing it. Now listen to this. Within a couple of years, Ray Higdon going after 20 no's a day. How many people do you know would be willing to go after 20 no's a day? 5 to 6 days a week. That's called rejection. There aren't a lot. Ray Higdon now earns over $1 million a month. And he's doing what he loves. And he's lifting people's spirits. Like, I want you to pay attention to people who are doing amazing things that are open and honest with what it takes to be successful in life. There are all of my mentors that I've written about, and we have a brand new book coming out, and I share more of my mentors, the Harv Ekers of the world, Science or Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Joe Cerulli, he went from homeless to multi-trillionaire like Joe Vitale, and he did it the same way that Joe did, working harder than anyone else in his profession. You can have an amazing body like Evelyn Keeling. Evelyn Keeling, I tell this story in my new book where we talk about the law of attraction can be poisonous, and I'm going to tell you how poisonous it can be in a minute. Evelyn Keeling lost 245 pounds and became a bodybuilder in her 50s. She didn't do it via affirmations or vision boards. Of course, she had positive thoughts. 245 pounds. Can you imagine losing 245 pounds and in your 50s becoming a bodybuilder? Is that like amazing? But let me tell you the downside. Here's what really scares me, the poison part of the law of attraction. A very good friend of mine died way too young in her 40s with cancer because she was relying on the power of thought to heal her cancer. She was relying on the law of attraction. She was relying on energy healing. Even though that can always be a part, and there are some people that definitely heal their cancer through thought, but the percentage is really tiny. I get so sad thinking when she died that she could have, if she was looking bigger and broader than positive thinking, she could still be alive today. The odds of success with the type of cancer she had was really big. And yet she chose to try to stay in healing herself with her thoughts only via the law of attraction. And it didn't work. And it makes me sad to even say that. But if you're in a situation right now with high blood pressure, alcoholism, extreme financial distress, a horrendous relationship, the odds of you turning it around with your thoughts are incredibly small, outrageously tiny. But we do know this from people like Colonel Sanders, Kentucky Fried Chicken. You know, he worked 40 years, and it was at 68 years of age he made his first millions of dollars. So there's good news here. The parts of the law of attraction that I like are going to be the following. Number one, surround yourself with people smarter than you and better than you, more motivated than you. Number one. Number two, do what they do every day and more. Number three, if you follow 1 and 2 and you're attracting powerful people in your life, you may have to let go of people that aren't as powerful. You may have to let go of people that aren't as motivated. You may have to let go of people that even want to try to sabotage your success because you're changing. I've worked with couples where one got sober and started to become incredibly successful in business, and the other one tried to sabotage their success by pulling them back into the world of drinking. Yet we know this: if you want something bad enough and you're willing to do what most people won't do, You can become incredibly successful with your body, with your money, with love relationships, with about everything in this world. You can shatter addictions. Is it going to happen via thought? The odds are incredibly small. As a matter of fact, if it does happen, we call it a miracle. And we say, go for it. You know, I want miracles. Listen, it doesn't matter in 1996 when I dropped the law of attraction and dropped all that kind of stuff. It doesn't matter what I will tell you other than look around you. If you see people that you know that have made millions of dollars, if that's a goal of yours, or who have an amazing body and that's a goal of yours, or who have a great love relationship and that's a goal of yours, who have done it via thought by sitting back and saying, the universe will respond to my thoughts. If I just put it out there, it'll come to me. I would be shocked. And if you have friends that you know that did that, then to me, that's just called a miracle. You know, we have helped people recover from affairs in love, where individuals that are married, where someone cheated, and when they got back together, they didn't heal the relationship through the power of thought. They healed it through the power of action into the uncomfortable, admitting what they did wrong, both sides, not just one. If there's a massive message for you to take away here tonight, I'm going to continue to repeat this. You can create the most amazing life you've ever had starting today if you're willing to do what most people won't do. If you're willing to hold yourself accountable, if you're willing to hire a counselor, a minister, a personal trainer, a nutritionist, a coach, a financial planner, if you're willing to invest time, money, and effort way above what you've done up till now, you can still create the most amazing life ever. When I look at, now we have 2 #1 best-selling books, and our 10th book is coming out in January. It took 21 years of writing books before I got a #1 bestseller. If someone would have told me 21 years ago, you know, you're not going to get a #1 bestseller for 21 years, I don't know. I probably still would have written, but I wouldn't have been quite as excited because every time I put out a new book, I knew that that was going to be a #1 bestseller. And when it wasn't, I just wrote another one. 21 years later, we have 2. And I believe with my heart of hearts that the new book that's coming out in January is going to be our 3rd one. It's going to be our 3rd #1 bestselling author. But that's going to be 23 years of writing, baby, right? When I look at, oh, Wilbur, you are so welcome, my brother. Wilbur Powell is with us. He just said, thank you for your time. He appreciates it. You are so very welcome. You know, there's greatness in every kind of teaching out there. And I think the law of attraction, the greatness of the law of attraction, I'm going to repeat it because we have some people that just joined. Number 1, surround yourself with people better than you, smarter than you, more successful than you. Number 2, do what they do every day of the week plus 10% more. And number 3, be willing to spend less time with people in your life who are negative, who are gossipers, who are anything that isn't healthy. You may have to let some people go. You may have to cut them back by 90% of your time with them. You may have to cut back 50% of your time with them. And I'm not saying that you should look to start slashing people out of your life. I'm just saying it's the truth. You know, one of the things that a mentor told me 25 years ago was that, and he had quoted this from someone else, we become at the highest level the 7 closest people to us. Think about that. So if you're struggling financially and you look around you, probably the 7 closest people around you are struggling financially too. If you're struggling with your weight and you look around you, probably the 7 closest people around you are struggling with their weight too. If you're struggling with a relationship, you know, do you see what I'm saying? So what he was trying to get me to do is what I just said, is surround yourself with people who are better and smarter than you are. And then be willing to invest time, effort, and money to get the life that you want. It's not that complicated, but we do have to get rid of the notion that whatever you believe you can achieve, because that's not true at all. Oh my gosh, Scott's with us, Debbie's with us, Angela's with us. Catherine just said right on, it's not easy to cut people out of your life and still necessary for peace and growth. That's part of the law of attraction, if you want to be honest. Who you surround yourself with is crucial. And I had to learn this the hard way. You know, I'm in recovery for severe alcoholism and cocaine addiction. And when I was an alcoholic, and I want to tell you something, I didn't heal it via the law of attraction or positive thinking. I had to invest a ton of money and a lot of time to get clean and sober. But when I got clean and sober, I lost about 80% of the social contacts in my life. Chad just said, David, thank you for touching and dropping the negative people. It makes a huge difference. It really does, Chad. Carly, always enjoying hearing what you have to say. David, you're an angel. Thank you, Carly. Ray Lynch, we need to get out of our own way. Absolutely. Oh, my God. Angela, such a good point about who you are surrounded by. Yes, agreed. Catherine loves what Ray said. You know, this is so much fun. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that you've taken the time to be with me here tonight and to talk about things that are so crucial to our success. We want you to keep moving forward. I've got to look at something here. And just to see if there's anything that I left out. I don't think so. I guess there's two things I got to talk about here. So about a month ago, and I included this story in our book, I got on my Facebook wall, a law of attraction teacher posted and said, upcoming seminar, learn how you can earn $100,000 working 2 days a week. And that wasn't earn $100,000 in a year. That was earning $100,000 in a weekend through the law of attraction. You know, and it makes me sad because we should think logically right now that just doesn't make sense. Doesn't that sound a little too good to be true? That if you just want to make $100,000, come with me this weekend and you'll make it in this weekend. I mean, it was blatant. Of course, I deleted it from my wall. I was on with a summit with a girl, Julie Cairns, out of Australia, and we were talking about intuition. And I said, let me tell you, if you have really good intuition, when people talk about the law of attraction and the secret and all this stuff, people with really good intuition would tap inside and go, wait a second, lose weight without doing anything but thinking about it, live in $1 million home by not working, just having it on a vision board, become a millionaire by imagining checks in the mail and they somehow magically appear. Someone with really powerful intuition would automatically go, time out, David. Come on, seriously. If I was teaching that like I did up till 1996. So you can actually tune into your own intuition. And I will tell you this because I want to be really, really honest. Deborah just said, hi, David, no procrastinating in 2018. Awesome. Hey, Stephanie. But, you know, up until 1996, I was telling people these things, you know, and I am so sorry. I have to apologize for saying these things because they're not accurate. Now, if anything does work in regards to the power of thought, it's a miracle. If you see a big change, a massive change, it's a miracle. And yes, welcome them in your life. But otherwise, make a commitment today when you walk away from this Facebook Live. Number one, write down every person you hang around with and see if they're a positive influence or a negative influence. Number one. Number two, write down the one area of life. You can do this right now with me. Write down the one area of life that you need to radically change. Is it your weight and health? Is it money? Is it an addiction? Like procrastination is an addiction. Is it codependency? That's an addiction. You know, is it your relationships or lack of? And then make a decision of who you're going to reach out to get help. If you could have accomplished something massive in that one area of life by now, you would have already on your own. I have a financial planner. I have a financial coach. I have an accountant. I have mentors. I have counselors. I'm not kidding you. I invest a lot of time, money, and effort into my continual growth. I have people that edit my books, and I pay them a good amount of money to edit the books. You know, like I surround myself with people who are so much smarter than me. So much smarter than me. I couldn't do what I do if I tried to rely on myself. I'm not that smart. I need really powerful people, and you do too. Okay, so let me offer this as a thank you for watching the Facebook Live. If you want to work with me one-on-one, we accept new clients every week because usually people are ending, and then we have spaces open for about 1 or 2 clients a week. Whatever we do sessions at 8 weeks in length. Whatever 8-week session that you pick up, I will give you an extra 2 sessions absolutely free. Just send us an email. You can do it here on Facebook. You can go to my website, talkdavid.com, which I'll put here as well. At talkdavid.com, just send us an email saying, I want to work with David with this 8-week program. And my team will get back to you. They'll sign you up and we'll give you 2 sessions absolutely free just for taking the time today to watch this, okay? I want you to achieve your greatest goals in life, and I know what it's going to take. Getting all uncomfortable, investing in yourself, and surrounding yourself with people that are extremely motivated and inspiring. And I'd love to be one of those people, okay? So let me know at talkdavid.com or right here at Facebook Live. And we're going to be doing these regularly. So I want to continue to give valid information, get away from the fantastical thinking, getting away from the illusional thinking, and into reality. Because in reality, we can have the body we want, we can have the money we want, we can have the relationship we want, we can have the career we want, we can have everything we want in reality if we understand the laws of reality. If you want to stay up in the ethers and fantastical thinking, you probably won't make it to where you want to get unless it's a miracle. Okay, so thank you again so much. TalkDavid.com is the website. You guys have a great night. We'll be back in a couple weeks and doing another one on a totally different topic. Bye now.